Arms of the blood red side.
Hey guys, Sarah here. It is Top 5 Wednesday. Today's topic is the top 5 books that made you think. Coming in at number 5, I've got The Queen of the Damned by Anne Rice. Now, this book really made me think because the mythology that she goes into in this book is so complex and well thought out. And it really made me question some things about morality and death and life. I feel like when it comes to mythology and rules of the world, this was the first one of hers that I read that was really complex, and I really liked that. Now, the next book is kind of ironic, but at number 4, I'm going to say The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, which I say it's ironic because if you've read this book, you know that he talks a lot about not thinking and being in the present moment. So this book made me think about not thinking, which is kind of, weird. No, but I think this book really just changed my perspective and the way that I saw things. It's a really great book. You should all read it if you haven't. It can really just change the way that you perceive life. Number 3, I'm going to say Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Now, I picked this book because this book really made me think about fan fiction and what constitutes fan fiction, and if what I think about fan fiction, if I think it's literature or not. I don't know. I think there's a fine line because obviously people are very kind of highbrow and look down on things like Harry Potter fan fiction or, Star Trek fan fiction. But then when you think about books like Wicked by Gregory Maguire, isn't that kind of just Wizard of Oz fan fiction? Like, it's somehow okay if you do it with classic books. Well, I mean, those books are in the public domain, so I guess there's that. But all these, like, fairy tale retellings, those, Peter and the Starcatcher books, for example, are kind of Peter Pan fan fiction. It's just really interesting to me how some of it is considered, an interesting retelling, and some of it's just considered fan fiction. And it's also interesting to me how, like, 50 Shades of Grey was Twilight fan fiction, and all she did was change the names and then publish it as a separate thing. I don't know. The whole thing is just really fascinating to me. I'm also fascinated by authors who are adamantly opposed to people writing fan fiction about their characters. So this book just kind of made me think about that a lot. Number 2, I'm going to say Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This book just really made me think about what it would be like to be a woman living in this time period, and what it would be like to be living as a woman before women really had any rights. Because even within that time period, Jane was able to be her own person and become independent. And even in the love story with Mr. Rochester, she's not dependent on him as a man. Like, he doesn't take care of her and kind of shape her role in society. It made me think about, if I was a woman living in this time period, how would I handle it? I mean, would I just kind of play into the roles that I was supposed to play in society? I mean, I can't really see myself, like, getting married and having kids and being a housewife and all of that. Even back then. Probably would have been burned at the stake, if I'm being honest. Anyway, it just made me think. And number 1, I'm going to say Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. I don't have my copy of this book anymore because I spilled stuff all over it and kind of ruined it. So luckily it was a very cheap copy, so I didn't feel that bad about it, but I need to get another copy because I really loved the experience of reading this book. This book really made me feel the way these characters feel and think about life and morality and some really deep, social issues, war and nationalism. It may seem very overwhelming because it's very long, but if you can get through this book, I encourage you to because it's really amazing. I did a discussion video when I read this book, and I'll link to that down below because it's kind of fun. But yeah, that book definitely made me think. Alright, that was Top 5 Wednesday. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.